Come and meet us. Come and meet us. Yes, this place there. What do you guys need for you to come
Hello everybody, welcome to this great day. Today we celebrate a triumph that is not just Nigeria's, not just West Africa's, but the pride of all Africa, the Dangote Refinery, a marvel of engineering, a symbol of resilience, and a declaration to the world that Africa is no longer asleep. Africa is awake, Africa is rising, Africa is leading. In August, Dangote Refinery made history. Its very first shipment of gasoline to the United States, according to ship tracking data, the Gemini Pearl loaded 300,000 barrels of gasoline from Dangote's port on August 26, bound for New York and New Jersey. Earlier this year, over 2 million barrels of jet fuel had already been exported to America. 6 vessels carrying about 1.7 million barrels sailed into U.S. ports, and another ship, the H.A. Andromeda, is on its way with 348,000 barrels of jet fuel. But it doesn't end there. Dangote fuel is flowing beyond America to Saudi Arabia, where hundreds of millions of liters have been exported, to Europe, Spain, France, Belgium, to Asia, Singapore, South Korea, even Israel. Across Africa, from Cameroon to Ghana, Angola to South Africa, petrol proudly stamped "Made in Africa" is lighting up homes, fueling cars, and powering industries. Think about this for a moment. For decades, Africa exported crude oil and then paid the price to import finished fuel. But today, the script has changed. We are refining here, we are producing here, we are exporting here. The largest single train refinery in the world, with a capacity of 650,000 barrels per day, is standing tall on African soil. This isn't just a refinery, it's a prophecy. While refineries in Europe and America are shutting down, too old, too costly, Africa is building something modern, efficient, and unmatched. Dangote Refinery, built at nearly $20 billion, is a statement to the world that Africa no longer waits for handouts. We build, we compete, we lead. And now, history has reversed. The United States, once the giant of oil refining, is importing African jet fuel. If that doesn't make your heart beat with pride, what will? For Nigeria, this refinery means energy independence, jobs, and billions saved from importation. For Africa, it means value creation, industrial growth, and dignity. When a farmer grinds his own maize, he doesn't beg for bread. With Dangote Refinery, Africa is grinding its own maize. This refinery is more than pipes and tanks. It is a mindset. It tells every African child, dream big, build bold, and never doubt your potential. Dangote could have invested his billions abroad, but he chose Africa. He believed in Africa, and today, Africa's sun is shining across the world. So let's say it loud. The Dangote Refinery is Africa's pride. While old refineries die in the West, Africa's new refinery rises like a mighty baobab, offering shades and fruits to generations to come. This is Africa's century. This is Africa's time. Africa is rising. Long live Africa. Long live the Dangote Refinery. Welcome to a story of pride, a story of resilience, a story of Africa rising, not on borrowed legs, but on wheels forged by African hands. Today we celebrate not imported cars, foreign dreams, or second-hand machines dumped on our shores. We celebrate innocent vehicle manufacturing, IVM, the black-owned auto giants rewriting the story of Africa's industrial revolution. Let us begin with a parable. When a child learns to walk, the parents clap with joy, but when that child begins to run, the whole village comes out to watch. Brothers and sisters, Africa is no longer crawling through innocent. Africa is running on its own wheels, running with dignity, running with pride. Innocent is more than a car company. It is the largest black-owned vehicle manufacturer in the world. Yes, the world. At a time when Africa was seen only as a consumer, a dumping ground, a marketplace for others, one man stood up to challenge that narrative. Chief Innocent Ifediaso Chukuma, CON, from Nnewi in Anambra State, Nigeria. He dared to dream that Africans should not only drive cars, but build them, own them, and export them. And today, that dream is alive, roaring on highways across Nigeria, West Africa, and beyond. On September 6, 2025, a high-powered delegation from ECOWAS, Nigeria's Ministry of Trade and Investment, and the National Automotive Design and Development Council visited the Innocent plant. They weren't just curious visitors. They came to assess, to collaborate, to strategize. Dr. Cabo Lass of the ECOWAS Commission praised Innocent for pioneering Africa's automotive future, pledging regional support to scale its operations. Mr. Joseph Osanipi of NADDC reaffirmed that policies and incentives would continue to strengthen local manufacturers, and government officials hailed the Innocent's full-fledged manufacturing model as the embodiment of Nigeria's industrialization dream. Chief Innocent himself stood tall and declared, "Africa needs Africans to build Africa. Regional integration in the auto industry is the right path, and Innocent is ready to lead that journey." Did you know that at least 65% of the parts used in Innocent vehicles are locally sourced right here in Nigeria? From the bolts to the bodywork, from the paints to the seats, it is African engineers, welders, artisans, and designers powering this revolution. This is not just an industry, it is a movement of dignity. A man who wears his own clothes is richer than the man who borrows silk. For too long, Africa has worn imported cars. But today, Africa wears her own clothes, stitched with steel and pride by Innocent. At a time when fuel prices soar and the world seeks cleaner energy, Innocent has stepped forward with compressed natural gas CNG buses. Cleaner, cheaper, and smarter. With the capacity to produce 30,000 CNG buses every year, Innocent is offering more than transport. It is offering liberation from dependency on expensive imported fuels. Imagine African-made buses carrying children to school, traders to markets, and workers to offices, powered by Africa's own energy. That is not just innovation, that is freedom on wheels. Then comes the Innocent G80 SUV, strong, slick, powerful, even bulletproof. Governors like Alex Oti of Abia State and Charles Chukwuma Soludo of Anambra State proudly ride these SUVs, sending a loud message. African leaders can ride in African cars, built by African hands, for African roads. And then a royal story. The Oluwo of Iwo, a monarch in Osun State, didn't just buy an Innocent SUV for prestige. He took the wheel himself, driving through his kingdom with pride. When a king eats from his own farm, the people know the land is blessed. His choice told his people, if your king drives Innocent, surely you can too. But Innocent isn't just for Nigeria. Vehicles are now being exported to Sierra Leone, Cote d'Ivoire, and Mali, with assembly plants being planned in Sierra Leone. Even President Julius Maada Bio of Sierra Leone has thrown his support behind IVM, telling the world Sierra Leone will ride with Nigeria, with Africa, with Innocent. This is Africa building for Africa. This is continental pride. In 2022, the Federal Executive Council approved the purchase of 21 Innocent vehicles worth 660 million naira for the Federal Road Safety Corps. Today, under the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the federal government has pledged to adopt CNG-powered Innocent buses for national fleets. When Nigeria buys Innocent, it is not just buying cars, it is buying jobs, empowering welders, painters, drivers, and suppliers. It is saying, we trust our own, we believe in our own, we would ride in our own. Across Nigeria's 36 states, Innocent vehicles are everywhere, in security patrols, state fleets, schools, and ministries. Abia ordered 40 new security pickups and utility vans. Imo acquired over 150 vehicles. Anambra, Enugu, Gombe, Delta, Lagos, Akwa Ibom, Kaduna, and many more have all turned to Innocent. Each purchase is more than a transaction. It is an investment in dignity, in innovation, in Africa's industrial backbone. Some may ask, why does it matter if governments buy Innocent instead of foreign brands? The answer is simple. Every Innocent vehicle bought means jobs for Africans. Every Innocent bus means money circulating in Africa, not draining abroad. Every exported SUV means global respect for African product. A goat that eats from its own farm grows fatter than the goat that eats from a neighbor's dustbin. By choosing Innocent, Africa is feeding its own farm, fattening its own goat, and securing its own future. And so, the message is clear. No more second-hand cars as Africa's destiny. No more dependency. No more doubt. This is the Africa we have dreamed of. This is Africa in motion. This is Africa riding proudly on Innocent wheels.